I always feel so bad giving criticism, but it's also something that is important for being transparent. Hi again. I am Fathom, and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations. And today, it is a market day. I am so tired and in pain because it's one of those days, but we make do. So, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I am Fathom. I run a small crochet business titled Other Fiber Creations, where I make custom plushies, I make fantasy-inspired clothing, I make other plushies, etc. Gotta remember the camera's here, not where I see myself at. Hehe. So, here is the deal. Most of my markets, I have to be up and packed and set up by 9 a.m. 9 a.m. setup means get there at 8 a.m. to start setup, which means get up at 7. Start packing the car at 7 because half hour setup, half hour drive, which means getting up at 6:30, 6:15ish. Today's market's a little bit different than that, which I'm grateful for. Instead, I get there at 2 p.m. to set up. It is like 8 a.m. I have slept in for a market day, which I am glad for. This is a market taking place at Campus 805. It is a local bar scene here in Huntsville. It is a bunch of breweries and local bars. They have Yellowhammer, which has a brewery. They have Straight to Ale, which is where I'm selling at, which features the speakeasy and the tap room. They have, Hops and Guac, I think is one of them. There's a lot of different bars in this little area. Lots of good food, lots of good drinks. And the first Saturday of every month, they have a market that I've now been invited to. In my last video, you can view that here. Had to think about that for a second. I showed you guys a week in my life as a business owner, and I mentioned that my friend Christina, the Intimate Alchemist, she sporadically invited me to sell with her on a random Saturday at Campus 805. And it turns out they had just gotten a new event organizer, and they had not actually gotten people organized for the event happening that night. And since I showed up, they're like, "We love your stuff. We'd love to have you back. Just fill out this form so we have your information and you're in." And I was like, bet. Happy for that. Let's do that. So, today's goal is, we've talked before about my goals are 1 times how much I pay to be there, double the amount I pay to be there, 4 times the amount I pay to be there. Problem with that for this market is that I pay nothing to be there. So, there's not really an easy way to set a goal. On average, I pay $25 to $30 to be at a place, so I'm just going to go with the goal being $25, $50, $100. On the random Saturday I sold there, I made $402, which is pretty good. So we're going to try and do that again. Might be a little rough because I'm going to be honest, I'm in a lot of pain today. It's the first full day of Shark Week, if you know what I mean. So it kind of hurts because I've had episodes where I've collapsed from pain before. I'm on painkillers. I got acetaminophen next to me on the bed. I think there's a P word people use for that in other countries. I don't remember. But I crocheted a lot of plushies this past week. I crocheted some stuff that I'll show you on the table later. Some dragons, another butterfly. I did some more scrunchies just because they're easy. I pulled some extra restock fidget shroom lads and some extra little basket fillers. I crocheted a whooper. I don't play Pokemon very much, but if you know Pokemon, you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm tired still because it's morning. That's why my voice is a lot lower than usual. That and because my roommate is sleeping over a very thin wall, so I'm trying to not wake him up. For now, since I have 4 or 5 hours till we pack the car, at minimum, since we may go get lunch over at one of the restaurants before we settle in to eat dinner at another one while I'm selling, I am going to finish this bag of scrunchies off by weaving in ends. Maybe crochet some more, because the giant list from this video that we've talked about before, the big list, it's narrowing down. I'm doing it. It's crazy. I'm somehow making more than I'm selling, which is like, oh no, you should be selling this stuff. But also, like, for the Madison Street Festival, that's going to be very helpful. If you want to see me in person, come visit me at the Madison Street Festival, October 4th. Anyways, I am making progress, and I've almost finished all of the little things on the list, so I can move on to trying to restock the bigger things, which I'm very excited for. I've done enough rambling, honestly, for this early in the morning. I'm sorry, editing Fathom in advance. I just saw Ribbler promote that I released a pattern. I did release a pattern, Ribbler. Good job. That was yesterday. Yeah, I'm gonna go and watch YouTube and crochet for a bit. I'll talk to you guys probably at booth setup or after I set it up. Pew pew pew. Okay, we are all set up here at 8:05, and I have made a grave error. It's hot. I'm very, very sweaty. My hand is shiny. Yes. Oh yeah, you can see the glistening on camera for that. I did not account for it not being in ventilation after last time being in AC. So I am sweating through my shirt already. But it's okay. We're gonna make it do. Make it do, make it work. I already made my first sale for the baby dragon, which I'm glad for and grateful for. And yeah, for now I think we're just gonna chill. I'm gonna tag my big bucket of things that I've made since last market that aren't tagged, and work on the project you saw a snippet of earlier. Let me show you that actually, 1 second. So this is the Tree of Life Embla Vest by Morale Fiber. I started it at around 10 a.m. this morning. It's around 3 p.m. now. It uses weight 4 yarn. I just used some random Red Heart Super Saver in some sort of brown color and in Favorite Stripe, if I remember right. This is the center back of the vest. I'm making it in an extra large because it's the most universal size for people when they buy from me. I'm so excited to see the colors worked up. I started this around 10 a.m. I think I already said that. The heat is going to get to me today. Can you tell? But yeah, it's just tagging stuff and working on that. And I will check back in with you in a bit based on how things are going. Pew pew pew. Okay, we are about an hour and 40 minutes into this event. There is now more fans. I'm not dying, which is good. I was dying. I no longer have sweat marks on my shirt, so we're living. I have made 2 sales. I made 1 baby dragon sale and 1 baby leggy frog, which, pretty good. The usual sellers are selling. I've had a lot of people kind of look, but for a lot of it, I wasn't at my booth because I wanted to go talk to other people. And a thing that we've learned, I'm looking over, but he doesn't have to talk, is that if I'm not sitting at the booth, things don't sell. I can have the most educated helper in the world, but me being here and people seeing my face in correspondence with my stuff is what makes the difference. So here I am for the rest of the night, unless I have to use the bathroom, which I don't right now, which is good. I'm glad I don't have to use the bathroom. I was going to make a joke about pausing the video and going to the bathroom if you need to go right now, and I'm sorry if I'm making you have to go by talking about it, but I had a stroke instead. I'm going to actually sit and work on my project now instead of walking around forever and ever. Amen. Cheers. Do you want to say anything, Ethan, or are you good? He gives a thumbs up, and that's it. Thumbs up. It is 6:32, which means it's been 3.5 hours, and I've made a total of 4 sales, something like that. It's a lot slower than the last time we were here, but that's all right. I have dinner. Dinner is cheese curds and bacon wrapped pretzel bites. They are tasty things from I got last time. Open with one hand, it's difficult. But yeah, cheese curd. Delicious. But yeah, it's pretty slow going, but it's been nice and chill, hanging out with the other vendors, hanging out with some friends to the side. But yeah, I'm going to focus on eating, and then we'll check back in a bit. Pew, pew, pew. So the market is over, and we are quickly packing up. I have helpers Annie and Ethan on the case, tearing down in record time, which means I need to hurry up and start putting things actually away instead of talking into a microphone like a dunce. I see Annie smiling at that. Whoa, what is that face? But yeah, we'll talk more about what actually happened here when I get back home. Pew, pew, pew. All right. It has been about 2 days since the market that you just saw footage of. Let's talk about it. I want to put this in a compliment sandwich. Is that what it's called? Where like you talk about some positives, grievances, positives. Grievances feels like a harsh word. We'll get there. Okay. So let's start with some things that went well. I love the location. The location is fantastic. I really enjoyed getting to be near the bar crowd. It was a lot of fun. They had some great food over there. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. You guys saw a clip of that. And I made some awesome friends. I met Melissa. If you're watching, Melissa, hi. Thank you for subscribing and for buying my baby dragon pattern. Available now if you guys want it in the description. Shameless plug. And I met Anne. I will remember their business names and put them on screen as I'm talking about each person. Also, sorry my hair is soaked. I just got out of the shower like literally 5 minutes ago. Anyways, I got to see Christina, a good friend of mine. I always forget their names. The people who run Glam and Ghoulish, they're awesome. I saw a lot of other awesome people as well. So yeah, that is my first section of praise. I always feel so bad giving criticism, but it's also something that is important for being transparent. So, this event did not go as well as I was hoping for it to. I did pretty alright overall, especially for it being a $0 fee event. Let's walk through how it went. I was in a very different location to the last time they had me sell. Last time I was in a super well-trafficked hallway that led to all of the bars. There was more than enough room for people, and I paid $0 to be there. I made like $400. Pretty good considering all things. This time we were in the throughway, whatever it's called. All 10 or so of us were in there to one specific bar, the bar hosting. I think not a bad spot if there was more awareness an event was going on, because no one I talked to who stopped by my booth, besides other vendors, knew an event was happening. They're just like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, you're blocking off the walkway. Are you supposed to be here? And I was like, yeah, actually, the bar asked us to be here. They're like, oh, okay. And walked away for the most part. They complimented my stuff. They were just like, oh, there's people in the walkway. They're not supposed to be here. Why are they here? You know, like, it's a different feel versus like the hallway where there was space for everybody versus the walkway. People seemed confused because they had to squeeze past to get through, because the walkway normally has one side going one direction, one side going the other direction. They had some of us blocking off one of those directions, so everybody had to congeal into one, and it was just a little bit confusing. From what I know, this is where they've always had this first of the month event, though. So I think it is a matter of people didn't realize it was happening this Saturday, not it's a bad location, if that makes sense. Like, it seems like a good place. There was a good amount of foot traffic at certain points in the day, but it was not communicated to patrons walking through that there was a thing happening. And so they're like, why are you here? Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to not be like, they did this horribly, because I want my criticism to be grounded in where I'm saying it. I think the solution to that would either be to move it somewhere that is a bit more fluid of people walking through, or to have better marketing from vendors and the location alike. I tried to post about it regularly. I should have made a graphic for it. I didn't. Or I should have gotten a graphic, or tried to collaborate with the organizers to get a graphic. That's on me. My bad. When it came to sales, I went in with the expectation of, if I make zero, that's fine. I paid zero to be here. Then I remembered I owed my helpers dinner. And so I sent them with my business card, with my information to do it, and my permission to do it, to buy dinner for us, since we were doing it on the clock. And suddenly I needed $70 to break even. Drumroll. I made $70 exactly. Yay! I broke exactly even. I made exactly $0 from doing this. Let's talk about what sold while I'm here, because I am appreciative for every sale I get. Thank you guys for making my dream job possible. So, sales I made. First sale was before we started, like 17 minutes before we officially started, quote unquote. I made $15 on Velveteen Dragon, the baby dragons. Half hour in, I sold a baby frog. Doing math. 2 hours in, sold a cube kitten. Math is hard. 3 sales in the last hour, I guess is the easy way to put it, of 1 more baby dragon, 2 Scraptopie, and 1 of my fidget flexagons, the fidget toys I've shown you guys a lot recently. So, that brought me up to $70 even, which meant that we all broke to zero. From what I know from talking to other people, I probably made a higher amount of sales than average. I'm not going to be like, I did the best, because that's braggadocious. It's more of like, I try whenever I'm at a market to get a feel from other vendors, because I want to know, is this a good location for my stuff? Is it that I'm performing worse and so I should keep in mind this isn't my crowd? Or is it we're all having a bad day? And that requires transparency from all the vendors being willing to talk to each other. From who I talked to, multiple did not make sales at all. And multiple of them bought food while there, meaning they went home in the negative, having paid the bar food money. So, that does not feel the best. I know the bar can't control who shows up, but we could also try and find a way to get traffic in that is interested in what's going on versus just using the walkway, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think of solutions, but since I don't drink just because it messes with disability stuff, so I don't actually attend bars that much besides for the food. I love bar food. I'm one of those people. So, I'm not sure what the solution to this would be. I was going to say recompense, that's not the word. The solution would be, I would love in the comments, if you guys have ideas that I can suggest to the organizers, please tell me. Because I love working with them. They've all been awesome. Another compliment to them. You guys saw, in the first clip, I was dying. I have terrible heat regulation, especially when I am dying, because I started, and I was in so much pain. I took 8 painkillers at one point. Not like an overdose amount. Like, I took like 4, waited a couple hours, took 4 more. Because when I was a kid, they had me on 1,400 milligrams during my bad episodes. So I was like safely monitoring how it was affecting me, taking it in smaller amounts to get up to it. So, I was miserable. And the organizer, She was right on top of it. She was like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? When I first got there, and I was like, I am not regulating my heat well. I didn't realize we were in a different location, and that is solely on me. I did not realize that the location described in the email was different than where I was, since I don't go there very often. I should have asked someone who goes there very often, like my roommate, to make sure I knew where I was going. That's on me. But she was like, oh, heard. I'm going to go find you a fan or find a solution for you, because that's not something that I thought about clarifying to you in the email. I just said, yeah, we're happy to have you back at location, forgetting you're a new person who's been here somewhere else. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that acknowledgement. And within 30 minutes, she had a fan. Not even like a small fan, like the big industrial fan that she had somebody hook up extra power cords to get it to where I could feel it. It was awesome. They are great organizers. This one just felt like something fell through the cracks. We all have markets like that, though. I think that it is important to take them on the chin and look at the silver linings, because I made some awesome new crafting friends. I'm excited to get to talk to them more. I got to work on the Tree of Life mandala vest, or embla vest, from Morale Fiber. I'm gonna insert the photo that Melissa took of my progress at the end of the market. Thank you, Melissa. And with all of that being said, I plan to go back because it's indoors at least. And I'm going to give them another go before I decide if it's actually fully worth it for me or not. Their holiday events, I definitely think I'll be there for. Like, they have a pinball event coming up, they have a Halloween event, they have some Christmas events I'll go to probably. But we'll see how I feel about these Saturday markets before I sink in and go, this is my market now. You know? With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you're going to do one of those three things, make it subscribing so you can see all the other interesting things I do around here. Big breath. If you want to support me other ways, you can also find my published patterns as well as all the physical goods I have for sale down in the description below on my Etsy website and Ribbler. Today's question of the day is, what are suggestions that you have that I could bring up to the organizer of, these are ways to possibly get more people in or to reorganize? I know you guys weren't there as much as I was, and I didn't get like footage of the whole area, so you have limited knowledge to suggest things, but I'd love to hear ideas you've seen from other markets I could suggest just to give them feedback, or that I can keep in mind if it becomes relevant to bring up feedback. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.